Tom. Tom. Gee, you're a tough guy to track down, mate. So if we have a chat?
Well, I can do if you want, but I'm obviously on the morning run in Central Park, so... But yeah, you're welcome to.
All right, we might have to do this. I mean, I'm not much of a runner, but I run away from all my problems, so I guess that'll have to do. You much of a runner yourself?
Yeah, I mean, I do a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
I'm a big guy. I don't like to put too much pressure on the joints, but I just came off a big flight yesterday, so
yeah.
I'm trying to kick that out a little bit.
Cold enough for you?
It's freezing this morning. This is...
You should be used to it, mate. You're from
so
Manchester,
this is similar to Manchester, to be honest, but early morning, it's cold.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it's all a bit weird at the moment, isn't it? I mean, there's a massive title fight in your division this Sunday, and you're weighing in as the backup fighter despite holding the belt. Is that a strange feeling for you?
Yeah, when you put it like that, I guess it is a little bit weird. But I think once we get this over with, hopefully, I mean, you never know, hopefully this is going to be the end of all that stuff and the division can finally progress a little bit, hopefully.
I mean, before we continue, I think it's also important to set the record straight. Like, Jon Jones and Stipe Miocic are two of the greatest fighters of all time. In fact, I think that Jon Jones had actually become champion before you even made your debut. Are these two guys that you looked up to coming through as a relatively young fighter yourself?
Yeah, oh, mate, of course, yeah, absolutely. Although Jon seems to like to downplay what I've done in the UFC. I still look up to him massively in terms of what he's done as an athlete. Same for Stipe.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like Stipe, in my opinion, is literally the best heavyweight of all time. So, yeah, massively look up to those guys.
Why does a fight with Jon Jones intrigue you so much?
Right. The fight with Jon Jones in particular, it's not Jon Jones that I really care about.
Yeah.
It's the heavyweight title that I care about, the undisputed heavyweight title. But this is a bit of a strange one with him because this fight this weekend is the most undisputed heavyweight title ever because there's another champion, so it's a little bit weird. But Jon, really, it's not Jon that I'm really after, to be honest. It's the belt. He's got the belt, and I want it. There's nothing. Doesn't run any deeper than that for me. Right.
So if Stipe Miocic does emerge victorious this weekend, and I mean, 20 victories, yeah. 15 of them by knockout, and he's not knocking out bumps, knocking out Cormier in the best that we've ever seen.
Yep.
It's very possible that he wins this. Will you start chasing Stipe even though he's not particularly keen?
Mate, absolutely. I'm not interested who I fight. Never has interested me. What interests me is my dream of becoming UFC undisputed heavyweight champion. And I've not got that yet. So whoever's got that is the person that I want to fight and win it off. I'm not bothered if it's Stipe, Jones or anybody else. It doesn't matter to me.
You're right in what you say. Like, this does feel like it is one of the most disputed title fights that I can remember in UFC history. But I mean, exactly as you mentioned, like, I imagine there's a lot of younger fans as well, Tom, who maybe didn't see the JDS fight and maybe didn't see the Fabricio Verdun fight, you know, some of Stipe's best performances. Can you kind of understand why the UFC's gone in this direction? You know, legend versus legend, Jones versus Miocic?
I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's an interesting fight. I just think it's a bit weird that it's for the title. I don't really get it, so I don't know. I guess it'll do numbers, it'll sell, which is ultimately what it's all about, isn't it, really? It's all about the company making money, so I can understand to a degree. And it's a fun fight, but at the end of the day, it's two old farts having a fight. It's not two of the best heavyweights in the world. And that said, with respect, the fact that with what these guys have done and everything, it's fantastic, but I don't think it should be for the heavyweight title.
Did you see that Jon is more keen on fighting Alex Pereira because he supposedly has done more to establish himself as champion, and it does more for his resume than fighting you? Did you see that?
Yes. I don't know what he wants me to do. He wants me to fight more champions, and I'm like, bro, you are the champion, and you won't fight me. So what am I supposed to do? I can't do. I have no options.
Yeah.
So they're gonna say anything to not fight me. Basically, he's trying to sway the opinions of the public to make it seem like it makes sense.
Right. So he's trying to cover his tracks a little bit.
Yeah. He's a smart guy, and there will be people who believe that. But for me, it isn't about. I'm not trying to fight Jon Jones because he's Jon Jones and I want to take away his resume or anything like that. I'm trying to get the UFC title.
So it ain't about the Jon Jones legacy at all?
I couldn't give a shit.
Really?
About Jon Jones's legacy. Not bothered.
You're the guy that, I mean, you'd be the guy to beat him.
I'm not bothered. I want the heavyweight title.
Fair enough.
I'm not bothered if it's Jon Jones or some random guy from Central Park. If he is holding the UFC heavyweight title, I want it. I'm not fighting for his legacy. I'm not bothered about taking that away at all. I just want the heavyweight title, that's it.
Speaking of Central Park, have you ever been here before?
Yeah, I have, actually.
It's beautiful, ain't it?
This is actually the 4th time I've been to New York within a year.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm here all the time.
It's a good
I
spot.
was here a few months ago, actually,
Okay.
on this very run, this very same run.
Yeah, right. Doing an interview with somebody else.
No, I was running a lot faster than this, to be honest. You're holding me back a little bit.
Hey, I mean, it's been a little while since I held my belt as a UFC champion, so you might have to take it a bit easy on me. Is it frustrating for you? How do you keep yourself motivated when, you want that heavyweight strap, the undisputed strap?
Easy. I don't know, I feel like a lot of fighters are getting big in terms of popularity and money and stuff. And they lose the desire to train hard and stuff.
Yeah.
With me, it's just not an issue. I'm not saying that'll never happen.
Yeah.
But I just love training. It's something that I've done since I was like 8 years old, so I just enjoy it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, and to be honest, this has been pretty good. Because without this, I wouldn't have had anything booked. So I would have just been treading water until next year, which isn't great for me.
Yeah, right.
I like to have something in the pipeline that I can work towards.
Because it's so strange, I can't remember, I think it might have been Henan Barrow fighting Eddie Wineland when Dominic Cruz was at the last interim champion to defend the belt.
Yeah.
So there you are, you're in esteemed company there.
Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have been my first option.
No.
But I had no choice. Also, my last fight was in Manchester, which is where I'm from.
Yeah.
And it was against Curtis Blades, who I technically had a loss to, even though I got injured in that fight. So
yeah.
That was very personal for me. So I really wanted to do that, but I'm not doing that shit again. I'm not
You're not going to defend the interim title?
No. No, I told the UFC that.
Right.
My next fight needs to be for undisputed, and that's it.
Sure.
Mate, that's the last thing I've got to do in my career.
Yeah.
It's the last thing I want to do.
How did the UFC respond?
He said, absolutely right.
Fair enough.
Absolutely right. That's just what I want. That's my dream, is to be undisputed UFC heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I am heavyweight champion right now, but there's also another guy. That's what freaks me out about Jon. Why I think he's a little bit weird. Because me personally, if I'm fighting in a division and I think I'm the best,
yeah,
I'm going around and saying that I'm the best. I'm walking around with a belt and all that stuff. There shouldn't be another guy who feels comfortable doing that as well.
Right.
And I don't feel comfortable that Jon does that. So the only way we can solve that really is fight about it. But he seems to be completely fine with me also doing that, which is kind of weird. I don't know.
No, it is strange. I spoke to Dana White in Abu Dhabi only a few weeks ago, and he was very insistent that the winner of this fight will take you on in a unification bout. I don't imagine you're very confident that's going to take place.
I don't know. I have no idea, to be honest.
But it's good to see that backing from the boss.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I don't know either guy personally, Stipe or Jon.
Yeah.
I don't know where their lives are at, careers at, bodies at. I have no idea. But that's obviously a fight that I want. But if it doesn't happen, I'm all right with it either way. I'm all right with anything, as long as it's for the undisputed title. That's what I mean. That is literally the only thing I'm interested in. Opponents, couldn't care less about them. I'll fight anybody. But I earned my spot as #1 in the world. and I deserve to fight for the undisputed title next.
It'd be difficult to argue with that. I mean, it is kind of funny though, seeing like the sort of the love triangle that's developed, right? I mean, you want to fight Jon, he wants to fight Pereira. Pereira's happy to fight anybody.
Yeah, it is kind of strange. We'll see what happens, man. I don't know. I think everything's going to be determined just in a few days from now. So
yeah, absolutely.
This time next week, we could be having a completely different conversation. Who knows what's going to happen?
You'll have a different blueprint.
This is heavyweight MMA at the highest, well, I say the highest level, but at a very, very high level, and two of the best guys to ever do it. So
why don't we slow down here, Tom? Take it in a little bit.
It's actually beautiful.
It is.
I've not been to this bit before.
Oh, yeah?
I don't think so. A lot of horse.
You did step in it a couple of times, and that looks like a new set of shoes.
This is the first time I've worn them.
Brilliant.
I saved them for New York.
You've brought them in well.
When I get a fight week, even though who knows if I'm fighting or not, but I always make sure I've got the new pair, the new kicks ready to go. Is there
a part of you, and pardon me if this sounds a bit brash, but is there a part of you that kind of hopes that one of the guys don't make it to the fight so you can sit in?
No, absolutely not. Okay. I'm not the kind of guy who, like, wishes bad on other people.
No, not that, but it's more just wishing, like, you know, good things upon yourself.
I'm also the kind of guy who thinks, like, whenever it's supposed to happen, it will happen. So if it's supposed to happen this weekend, which is highly doubtful at this stage, we're on Wednesday, we still didn't hear anything. You never know, But if it's supposed to happen this weekend, it'll happen. And if not, it'll happen whenever it's supposed to happen.
You believe in fate and stuff like that?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
And destiny and all that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I mean, I'm not sitting at home with like a load of crystals on my face and doing
tarot cards.
I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing all that stuff, but I do believe in that kind of thing, yeah. Definitely. I think just certain things happened in my life and in people around me's lives that is solid evidence.
We know about how strong you are, Tom. We know about how good you are on the ground as well. How do you feel you match up tactically against the genius of Jones?
Oh, he's definitely a genius in the octagon. He's fantastic. I just think that I can match him skill for skill, but also I'm just way more athletic than him as well. Like,
in what way?
Well, he's a light heavyweight,
yeah,
and
right.
I'm a full-blown heavyweight who...
Really? I can't tell.
I mean, I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I think it's hard to find another guy my size who moves even close to what I move like. And I just think that's just a massive advantage in itself. Do you know what I mean? Me being bigger than him, me being faster and stronger than him, and having a similar level of fight IQ as well. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from him. He's literally one of the smartest guys to ever compete.
Yeah.
But I think now he's definitely getting a bit older and stuff. So I think it works that way. I think, mate, heavyweight MMA, you've always got a chance. You've always got a chance. And
yeah.
Really massive guys, really tiny gloves. And I just have some way of finding the knockout time after time. So I always think I've got a chance in a fight against anybody. It
is quite remarkable because you've only seen the second round once in the last 8 years.
Yeah.
That's absolutely remarkable. The rest have been first-round finishes. Yeah, what makes you so good,
Let me add as well, in that fight in particular, when I fought Arlovsky, I did a two-day travel, and I arrived on the Thursday, because it was in COVID, they were flying us all over the world to get there. I think we got 6 flights to Vegas. Arrived on the Thursday, and then in the first round, he punched me in the eye. He didn't poke me in the eye, but he punched me in the eye, and I couldn't see barely anything for the full fight.
Right.
So that was a bit weird. Like, I couldn't see how close or far he looked. Like, my depth perception was way off in that fight. So
right.
I was just like taking punches, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even he looked like he was miles away, and then he hit me. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. I like being a mystery. The
incredible compromise for that, for an eye poke and not being able to see, is that you were forced into the second round, God forbid.
Yeah, a minute into the second round as well. It was only a minute in. But yeah, you know what? I love being a secret. I love the fact that people can't watch film on me and be like, this is what he does really good. and this is what he doesn't do so well. Of course, in the short fights that I have, you can pick up faults, of course.
Yeah.
But
I didn't even think of that. I didn't even think of it from the opponent's point of view, but that's a great point.
This is the best way, especially someone like, I mean, I'm not picking at Jon, but I know that he watches a lot of film, and difficult to pick up patterns against guys who've only had 2-3 minute fights for the last 10 fights. Because there's so many things that I've improved on, so many things, and I just not had the opportunity to show it yet. Which is great. That's amazing. Like I'll show it when I need to show it and surprise everybody.
What about
is that the place where the murders went on?
The murders?
The murders. There was a body floating in there.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm unaware.
You didn't know about
that? Which
Have you not seen that New York Murders of New York?
Which one? The slasher?
Yeah, they like cut his cut his guts out and like tried to sink him in there. He was in there.
Okay.
That's what I just said.
Yeah, right.
It's that one where they cut out the guts in it and tried to sink him, where it didn't work. Yeah, mate, he was over that side there by that hut.
Now, you're right in what you say, Tom. Like, these are sort of two older guys, but you kind of represent not only like the fact that you were younger, but you represent this kind of new era of heavyweight, right? You're a very dexterous striker, very similar to Cyril Gane in a way, very light on your feet. How do you feel about that?
I like the word dexterous. That's a new one for me. I'm going to keep that. I presume it's a compliment.
No, it is. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that there's not many guys move like kind of me and Cyril and stuff, and people like Volkov and stuff like that. Like, we can do everything. Generally speaking, heavyweights are like big fat sluggers or big muscular sluggers who don't have a lot else to do apart from knock people out. Whereas now I think you're starting to see these guys like can do everything a little bit more. But I think we're still struggling in the heavyweight division. We need more guys. I think a lot of big guys generally go to other sports. If you're in the US, American football, UK, Australia, rugby, big guys are playing. If you're tall, you're playing basketball, do you know what I mean? Stuff like that. It's not like, we need big guys coming over to our sport, and hopefully within the next 10, 15 years, we're going to start seeing more guys move like me and like Cyril and stuff like that. That'd be way more interesting, because the heavyweight division has been like, you know, not the best level for quite some time.
You've got a lot of heavyweights that train at your gym. Are you starting to see that? Like more, I guess, well-rounded fighters? Yeah,
so we're in a quite unique situation with the gym. So basically, I wanted to set up a training situation where, because I used to train with like a heavyweight once every blue moon, basically, once every now and again. So I said to my dad, like, listen, and my dad said the same. When I'm training with heavyweights, I'm finding it way different than training with the smaller guys. Obviously, there's a lot of difference there.
Yeah.
So we reached out to a couple of heavyweights who had the same problem. They were in gyms with smaller guys and stuff like that. So we ended up with like 3 or 4 big guys. And then now we just have this crazy mat where like people are literally coming from all over the world, heavyweights coming from all over the world, from all kinds of different organisations.
Yeah.
To train in this heavyweight, you know, just heavyweight and light heavyweight gym, which is...
Wow.
It's great. You know, we've got a lot of guys from different organisations as well. At one point, I think it was last week or the week before, we had like 5 ranked UFC fighters on the... No, sorry, 5 UFC fighters on the mat, either heavyweight or light heavyweight.
Wow.
As well as PFL heavyweights, Brave heavyweights, KSW. You know, we've got guys from loads of different organisations. It's just good to see that heavyweights are working together now. That's nice, because I wasn't the only person with that problem before, of struggling to find heavyweights. So it's good that everyone's kind of come together. And hopefully, mate, we'll be seeing more big guys doing big things in the sport in the next 10, 20 years.
You're right, because, like, in what you say, having more skilled heavyweights is only a good thing. But, you know, it's what you said earlier when we were jogging, like, it's such a lottery sometimes, because all it takes is one in the heavyweight division. Yeah. One big Tai Tuivasa overhand right, and it's all over. But, I mean, harking back to a knockout artist from yesteryear, Stipe Miocic is, you know, as you mentioned, arguably, or statistically, the greatest heavyweight of all time. If we take a look at our Turning Point presented by Ashley and Martin Medical Hair Centres, the last time we saw Stipe inside the octagon was this knockout loss to Francis Ngannou. I wonder if he's the forgotten man because a lot of the younger generation might have, I don't know, diminished his esteem a little bit after seeing this?
I don't know. You know what? This sport like moves so quick. Brett Okamoto's having a cameo.
You guys working?
Yeah, there's bloody cameo
Hello,
there.
mate. Say hello. I don't know.
You're right, good talk. How are you doing?
Cameo with Brett on Fox Sports. Hello. See ya. How good?
He interrupted me. He broke my flow. I don't know where we're up to.
It's all good.
I was talking about Stipe.
Stipe's fight against Francis Ngannou.
I think that with MMA, if you're not active, people are going to start forgetting about you a little bit.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is, unfortunately. Recency bias is a real thing. Especially now, we've got like so many amazing events, literally banging out UFC events every week, mate. So it's like, I'm not saying Stipe's forgotten about at all, but it's just people's memories are short, aren't they? I'm a massive fan of the sport, especially heavyweights. So I know all about Stipe. Like you say, these younger fans who are coming in around the pandemic, 2020, 2021, 22, whatever, they've probably never seen Stipe fight. Or if not, maybe once, and he got knocked out. So
yeah,
it's interesting.
It's nuts to see how much the sport has grown in the past 3 years, like how many newer fans came through after the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to see, though. It's nice to see this is a...
Well, all of them are in your camp, all of them like you.
What do you mean they're all in my camp?
Well, all of them know that, like, everyone's on your team,
oh, yeah,
so to
that's
speak,
good.
you know?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean... Because you're the heavyweight champion that they all know.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. I mean, I don't like... There's a lot of fan shaming goes on online and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You casual. This is the word casual. The insult of a casual.
Gets bandied about a little bit.
It's like, mate, as long as he's watching the sport and supporting us, who gives a shit what you're saying? Doesn't matter.
Welcome to the family.
Who's bothered? Yeah, there's going to be hardcore fans. Yeah, there's going to be newer fans, casuals, whatever. But as long as they're watching, it's helping us all anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Let's talk about you a little bit, Tom. How has the sort of past year as champion been for you?
It's been good, yeah. I mean, I don't really live any different, to be honest, than what I did before. I mean, I've got a nice house and stuff now. Got nice cars and all that stuff. But ultimately, I just live exactly the same, really. I just do the same old stuff that I've always done. I train twice a day, spend time with my kids, drop them off at school, you know, take my kids to football training, kids' parties. I do all that stuff, you know what I mean? I do the dad thing. I try and do it as properly as I can, try and put as much effort as I can in that, because that's more important to me than the fighting. And then, yeah, I train twice a day. I do that regardless. I'm not like living some bougie lifestyle or something like people might think. I just live my little quiet life and pop my head up at these events when I need to. And otherwise, I'm pretty much indoors doing family stuff, being a dad, and that's basically it. I don't really do
Maybe
anything.
you'll start living the bougie life when you get the undisputed belt. Who knows?
No, I don't think so, man.
Massive transformation.
In all honesty, the undisputed belt and the interim belt, it's the same contract-wise anyway. So you get paid the same money.
Yeah.
You're still known as a champ, so I can't see that changing. You never know.
Yeah.
Right? You never know. Who knows? But yeah, I'm not really. I've done aspects of that stuff. Do you know what I mean? I've eaten in fancy restaurants. I flew on these like private jets and done all that. Yeah, he's cool and everything, but I don't live my life doing that. There's moments when I do it, I might put a picture on Instagram here and there just to impress people. But otherwise, I'm just doing normal everyday stuff that I did before.
Give us a prediction, Tom. How do you expect this fight goes down on Sunday?
Double knockout. Both knock each other out at the same time. No, I don't know. I think that. Well, heavyweight MMA is so difficult to call. I don't know. I would never. Like, if I was a betting man, I would never bet money either way. I think if you bet on MMA anyway, you're a bit of a silly guy. Like, you should avoid betting on MMA. It's the most unpredictable sport ever.
But being the analyst that you are.
Being the analyst I am, if you want me to put my analyst hat on, I would say I would give it 60-40 to Jones.
Yeah.
Just because we've seen Jones a little bit more recently. He's a little bit fresher. Carries less power. I think that Stipe has more finishing ability with the striking, especially.
With the hands, yeah.
But I would definitely say that Jones would be more fresh, more slick, more precise than a 42-year-old Stipe coming off a knockout loss 4 years ago. That's just my opinion. If I'm wrong, watch this back, make a meme out of it, do whatever you want. But that's my opinion right now on Wednesday morning, 3 or 4 days before the fight.
Well, mate, we appreciate your time here on Fox Sports. Tom, sorry to interrupt your run. I've slowed you down a little bit.
That's all right, mate.
That's
all right, mate.
Slowed you down to a walk.
I'll pick it up in a minute.
Okay, beautiful. Appreciate your time, dude.
Thanks, mate. Cheers.